Hello and welcome. This is part 2 of Vanishing Point's essay. I will take this time to introduce myself. I am Jemma and I'm a several year experienced fine artist. I've graduated fine art college and this is my final year theory essay. Originally, I made this to be 35,000 words long, but I had to shorten it to 9,000, so yeah. The mind's reach. Please sit back, relax. This is a podcast. There will be images, but yes, there will be reading involved. The mind's reach. An artwork that fully portrayed the art of koan, the riddle without solution, or as I like to call fourth dimensional thought, was that 14th century old age ink, Muromachi period, called Catching a Fish with a Gourd, which is a hard exoskeleton of plant and fruit similar to cucumber or marrow, made in Japan, containing minimalist inorganic pigment ink, constructing the world-depth premise spaces with ever-popular loose brushstroke style that was evidently in the trend of the era. It commented that just like the impossibility of a man catching the catfish with a strange entrapment capsule, the mind meditating on an obscure, incomprehensible feat is the crux of Rinzai branch on Zen, which in turn, over centuries, could be seen as evoking enlightenment. You can become so transparent that others retain dense walls to your perception compilation. Transparency of self creates self-importance. The betrayal of self can be brought about by the knowledge that your main enemy is the mind's doubt and creations of synthetic order, the Illuminati being you that has been taken advantage of, much like many other things. Here lies the meaning of understanding of your own just ways, moral order, and strength of character. The scripts of Koan and branch of Zen Buddhism that portrays. The benefit of this study provides one with the freedom of autonomy by holistic approach, to erase all numbers of Sudoku board and even the lines, to remaster one's own ship and access the subconscious. As the saying goes, that the subconscious thinks and the conscious reacts. Bound by your own patterns, the problems will of course be blurred by someone is taking us for a loop. As Thomas Hobbes would have said, all the knowledge is derived through sensation. This is where the journey starts, and with the concept of self-alchemy that can only be progressed by shaking up the whole system of its own normalities by a single breaking step of change. You can't walk into the same thing you're looking back at, but you sure can hit something else if you do not let yourself sit and look back without action, or contemplation and memory when feeling draining volume of something wrong, only to be seen by the gap in continuity for many times has been blocked by means of medication. By this I mean the mind-altering substances, and drastic diversion from crippling issues that remain stagnant in the lives of many, or may even cripple them. The end of 20th century and the silver screens have it drastically overlooked by the awe-stricken bright lights of technological heaven's gate. By that I mean the acceleration. Knowing so much and yet knowing nothing at all, instilling some forms of repression that will leave you spending and earning, basing all concept of your day on its short-lived hands. Looking at Zoroaster, 0 stars and 0 means nothing, yet the circle means all. Leaves empty results when exposing this anomaly of today. However, when the country is in distress, they are more likely to support war or extreme radicals who seem to have no passion to make things true. At the end of the day, the magician makes you look everywhere else. Restrictions of conventional morality that psychoanalysts would call a great pull to the fabric of societal backlash, that the manipulative and inadequate adjustments to new empirical data, which is on purposefully named the constructed data, however extremely productive, Where expanding the workforce and empire is concerned, are built by piling things on things, science alienating the universal harmony, and master illusionists that know humanity's desire and that can create unworldly amnesia. Acknowledged by many as the quiet pleasure principle, which by overextended course seems to be enticing by when viewing through eyes of Thomas Hobbes, who believed all knowledge derived through sensation, and his idea that society's formation took place by means of protection from other clans and tribes. It was proven a necessity for legitimacy of civil society to encounter differentiations and social contrast for its strength to be exhumed and political power brought on by consent of lands made up by parts. Thank you for listening and making it this far, and I hope to see you on part 3. Differentiations.